Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We have a very short video today. I recently recorded this episode with Holly over at the Cooper Anthony Mercy Child Advocacy Center, and she's going to give us a brief but very informative overview about all of the great work and services that they offer over there. And that way you can stay aware about this great facility here in our community and what they do to protect children. So anyway, you enjoy your holidays, have happy, safe holidays, and we'll see you next week with some more programs.
Hi, I'm Holly here, and I am the Development Coordinator for Cooper Anthony Mercy Child Advocacy Center. And today I am going to tell you about us and child advocacy centers in general. So prior to child advocacy centers, this is a little illustration that kind of resembles what a child would have to go through. So a child, that's Robin, age 5, tells her teacher that she's being hurt at home. And then the child has to then tell the principal and the school nurse, who also examines her. And then they call the police, and then she has to tell the policeman the same thing. And then she goes to the hospital and has another examination and has to tell the nurse and the social worker and the doctor. And you can kind of see where this is going. By the end, Robin had to talk to 15 people. She's had to tell her story over and over again. So in addition to the physical abuse that was happening at home, she is now added to the trauma has now been added in this aspect, where she's telling her story over and over again in scary places. And then we also know, as children get scared or confused, their stories may change, which makes the cases harder to prosecute. So without child advocacy centers, you have all these entities, DHS, local law enforcement, prosecution, all doing their roles, but they're not working together. It's not a comprehensive, coordinated approach. And then instead of in a child-friendly atmosphere, when the child tells their stories, you're telling them in scary places like principals' offices and police stations and hospitals. Now, this is what it looks like with the Child Advocacy Center. So a child tells their teacher that they're being hurt at home. The teacher then calls the hotline, and then the child is brought to the Child Advocacy Center. They're met with an advocate who tells them what's going to happen that day. The forensic interview happens. It's one-on-one. It's just the child and the forensic interviewer. That's done in a child-friendly, non-leading way. And in an observation room, prosecution, DHS, law enforcement, all those entities involved in the case are observing. So then that way the child only has to tell their story one time. We also have sexual assault nurse examiners on staff that can do medicals if needed. And then we also have mental health therapy that can happen. It's a trauma-based therapy. So every child is offered that therapy, and if needed, they will undergo that. So this is just a little bit of facts about CACs in Arkansas. There are 17 in the state. The goal is for families to not have to travel more than 1 hour for services. During the process of healing, CACs work as a multidisciplinary team that includes Arkansas State Police, Crimes Against Children, Arkansas Department of Human Services, Division of Children and Family Services, local law enforcement, prosecutors, mental health professionals, and other state and local agencies. This is just a little bit about, we call it CAMCAC because Cooper Anthony Mercy Child Advocacy Center is a little bit of a mouthful. But we were created in 2003 by the Sisters of Mercy. All our services are free. On average, it costs about $2,800 per child. We are mostly grant and donation funded. During the pandemic, we never closed our doors. We always have a staff that's on call 24/7 in case of those emergent cases. Our main location is in Hot Springs, and we have satellite offices in Benton and Mena, and we do serve 6 counties: Garland, Saline, Polk, Montgomery, Hot Springs, Grant. Now, that's not to say that if a child is visiting from out of state or another county, that we would see that child if they were here. These are the services that we offer here. We have, again, the forensic interviews, medical exams, advocacy, mental health, and then we also have a prevention and education program. So that's kind of twofold. We have an adult program where, and I'll go into this in a minute, mandated reporter trainings where we train adults on how to handle disclosures if they do receive one. And then we also have a prevention program in elementary schools in the 6 counties that we serve. And we see children from kindergarten through 5th grade with that prevention program. This is how we receive referrals. It's a single point of entry is through the hotline. And then we also accept referrals from local law enforcement, DHS, Department of Human Services, Arkansas State Police, and the prosecutor's office. So the Child Maltreatment Act, what that does is it lists the professions that are legally required to report suspected abuse to the hotline. That is called mandated reporter. And in the state of Arkansas, if you are put in charge of a child, you are a mandated reporter. So every state is different. So, but that is Arkansas's law. So the law states that if you have reasonable cause to suspect that a child has been subjected to maltreatment, you must immediately notify the child abuse hotline. So if you are a chaperone at your child's field trip and you have a reasonable cause to suspect that a child is being hurt or abused in some way, by law, you must report that. In schools, obviously, there are a lot of mandated reporters in schools, counselors, nurses, teachers, school officials, school resource officers. So what can I do to protect and prevent? Participate in a mandated reporter training program, please call our office and ask for Taylor May, and she will be happy to provide that for your staff. Understand the disclosure process, recognize behavioral and physical signs of maltreatment, teach others that abuse is preventable, and share what you learn with your coworkers and team.
What if I told you? What if I told you? What if I told you something no one knows? The human journey is unique. Each life begins as a child, full of wonder and discovery. For 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 7 boys, life takes an unexpected turn. Child sexual abuse. For 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 7 boys. What if I told you? In most cases, there are no outward signs. No one knows unless it is disclosed. And that could take days, months, years. Some children never tell. They carry the secret with them. Some finally tell, and it is a weight lifted. What if I told you it had been to me? What if I told you no one could? Child sexual abuse happens, but it does not define. Children are resilient if we believe and protect them. Child sexual abuse happens in every community. 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 7 boys. What if I told you you could help? Help start the conversation. Understand the guilt and shame. Help erase the stigma. Believe the child. Embrace the adult. They are courageous. It is never too late to heal. People in your community know how to deliver care and healing for the 1 in 4 and the 1 in 7. What if I told you? Learn more. Go to whatifitoldyou.com. Pass it on.
So these are some facts about disclosures. Most children never tell. Most disclosures, if they do, are accidental. 93% of cases involve someone the child knows and trusts. 81% of cases, the offender is in the home. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 7 boys are victims of child maltreatment by the age of 18. 66% of children are enduring more than one type of abuse. So if a child comes in for physical abuse, the interview is done for all types of abuse. We don't just screen for what they came in for. Majority of priority 2 cases become priority 1 when a child is afforded a forensic interview. The average age of a child sexually abused is 9. So if a child does disclose to you, just allow the child to be heard, develop trust. Remember that you may be the only person who has been trusted. Don't try to conduct the investigation. Don't act shocked. Don't share this information, and don't try to talk a child out of what he or she is saying. Don't suggest that the child may have been abused. Don't attempt to find out the details. Don't stand over the child while he or she talks. Do consider your response before you are in a real situation. Do pay attention to your body language. Do know the reporting law. Do let the child know that it was brave to share something. Do document the actual words. Do call the child abuse hotline. If there is a doubt, call it in. This is our mission, is to utilize a multidisciplinary team approach to providing a safe, child-friendly, and caring place where children are assessed when allegations of child abuse arise. Our goal is to empower children to find their voice, heal from previous abuse, and prevent further abuse. Our vision is to eliminate child abuse. And here's our Facebook. It's CAMCAC, and then our Instagram is Cooper Anthony Mercy. Right now, we are in the midst of our Christmas program. It's called Miracle on Macaulay Court. This is where we go through all the children that have been seen in our center that year. We find the ones that are in the most need, and we provide them and their siblings for Christmas. So they get outfits, toys, things off their wish list, food, the Christmas meal. We partner with the Toy Chest in downtown Hot Springs that provides toys. We partner with Holy Rollers in Benton. They provide bikes and scooters and things like that. So please donate. I know that website's a little difficult, but if you just go to our Facebook page, CAMCAC, you can find it under our events. So this is the Child Abuse Hotline, 1-844-SAVE-A-CHILD. So if you ever come in contact with a child that you believe is being hurt in some way, this is the number to call. Thank you.